Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of week. Unscripted with the crack man, Bill Krackomberger. And it goes a little something like this. No, it doesn't. No, where's the intro? No intro today? There it is. Oh, yeah. All right, better late than never. What's happening, Billy? You good?
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me down here.
Thanks for being.
We're downtown here in the fabulous D, in this bucket of blood town here. I like to say that, but no, it really is. I'm walking through with my buddy. I have a buddy of mine that's here with me, and we're walking through and seeing the Sigma Derby. I don't realize, when someone sees that, they say, wait a minute, I used to see that 25 years ago. I don't realize the significance behind that game, how cool. And I told them on the weekends, you can't get a spot there.
No.
I mean, have you ever seen
Sometimes
that?
during the show, you can't get a spot there.
No,
yeah.
You can't get a spot. And you have to feed quarters in still, and you get quarters out.
Let's explain to people what Sigma Derby is.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, this leads into a story from yesterday that I don't think Gill even fully realized.
I didn't fully appreciate that. While I was talking about something yesterday, there was just mayhem happening at the Sigma Derby table.
Oh, really?
Gill's talking all serious. I don't remember what we were talking about because I was so distracted.
Oh, I was giving a tribute to Adam Burke,
that's
who was still alive in Survivor, and I was pouring my heart out about how deserving he is of such a thing.
And in the background, Bill, all I'm hearing is clink, 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 and I'm looking over there. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, it's straight out of a movie because we don't have these machines anymore with quarters.
Right.
And there's some guy over there with a bucket, and it was going on for 5-6 solid minutes during the show.
I got to go back and listen.
He must have hit a 200-to-1 shot or something.
It must have been. Yeah, must have been.
And how about when Randy comes on and says about how he manipulated the machine. He walked up to a machine, the Sigma Derby, 20 years ago.
Is how would we describe Sigma Derby? It's a horse race
game, the old-fashioned horse race game where the horses start in a starting gate, go around once, and go to the finish line, and the exact is what you get paid on. So you get paid on two horses coming out 1-2, 2-1, 3-4, and you get paid on that exact. And every single Derby that they have, every 60, 90 seconds, there's a video of it. Every 90 seconds. How do you guys have that video?
It's a live show.
Come on. Is there anything more exciting than that right there?
Every 90 seconds, there's a new odds board. You can see there's 4 different sides where the odds board is, and then you can bet. You can see there's the odds right there. And
by the way, is this one of the original remaining?
Yeah.
So there's only 2 remaining in town?
Is there 2? I thought it was 1.
This is the only one?
This is the only one the public can access. There are multiple other original machines that are privately owned.
Here, this one, the D, has the last original one in public.
I believe so, yes.
Wow.
Right here adjacent to Canada.
Why do you think it's a party over there every morning?
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, people look for these things that are, I'm trying to think of the right word because I don't want to spoil anyone's game. But you know what? I'm going to talk about it anyway, about the Durango. So let me just tell you what it is. So you look for things that are overpayers or things that are wrong. Well, sure enough, Randy found one that was paying every race, 1-2 came out. And he's like, wait a minute, 1-2 again? 1-2 again? It was stuck on a 1-2 cycle.
Randy.
They emptied all the quarters from the entire game.
Yeah.
Because he actually, circumvented it's not circumvented. This 1-2 was stuck on the 1-2 payout. So, literally, that's one of the reasons why I even know you guys, too. I had the same situation with blackjack. So
easy, Randy, all folksy, just being like, yeah, 1-2 just keeps coming up.
I mean, that, and we know the type of the amount of money that Randy bets is real money.
Yeah.
So what can you get down over there? I think it's the max is
20 coins.
20 coins.
So you can put 20 coins on a 200. Now think about it. If it comes out 200-to-1, there's not enough coins in there to pay you. There's not.
That's what happened during the segment.
4,000 coins to pay you. Yeah, they're called Derek at home.
Here I am pouring my heart out for Adam Burke.
So there's Randy punching in $5 at a time.
Right. Right.
I don't know why that's funny.
Wait, so our buddy Joe Fortenbaugh, does he have one of these?
Maybe. Right, yeah, he's one of the other private owners.
So
I don't know that story. I don't know why you're asking me.
Oh, I thought you told me that.
Maybe I read it somewhere. And told you that.
I know he loves Sigma Derby. I don't know. I thought you told me that. But somebody has this at their house, right? Somebody has.
Apparently there was some up for auction that all got bought privately. Yeah.
The rest of them in town are the electronic version of this, right?
Yeah, there's another one over there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not nearly as exciting as what we just witnessed on VSiN.com just now.
That's right.
Those horses were something else. Okay, Durango, you just brought it up. We have a new casino in Las Vegas.
Right, Durango. They don't want to be called Durango Station. It's a station's property. They just want to be called Durango.
Okay.
So I was there yesterday. I went a day after, figured it would be a little bit slower, and I did a live feed from Twitter. So, which is pretty interesting. I've never done that before. You actually go there, you can push live on Twitter and do a live. It was pretty cool seeing, only I didn't realize that it stays on your Twitter, because I talked about some things that were very, very inside. And I said, well, I'm going to talk about these things because this is a live feed. It's not going to be on my Twitter. Oh, God. It's not. Well, here I am advertising it. So I gave away some really good machine tips on that live feed, which is now on my Twitter feed.
Still love it, Bill Krackomberger with a K.
Oh, yeah, that Bill Krackomberger. So, but
how would we describe it to tourists? It's on the 215, which is a east-west freeway.
Is that the southwest of town?
Yeah. That's what you'd call it, right?
South?
I don't know if it's south, but it's west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would we consider that south? I'm not sure we would.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's like directly west.
It's 15 minutes from the Strip, though. I was shocked by...
South of the Strip, yes.
Right. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was shocked
barely
how big the windows were. And you usually don't see the open air like casino like that. Both sides have giant floor-to-ceiling windows. It was really nice. And now it's opening day.
I sat next to somebody at Momofuku the other night who was opening one of the restaurants. He was explaining to me all the different restaurants there, and he goes, the sports book is outstanding.
Sports book, that's where I started the video. Really cool, really nice.
Inside, outside, kind of thing.
A lot of detail, a lot of attention to detail there. Now if I can only bet there again, I have to try to see if I can get the Fertitta brothers on the phone and see if we can get some action. Really, you think Dana White? I'm gonna have to ask Dana. Dana, beard me back in here.
Beard me back in.
Now, nicer than Red Rock?
I like Red Rock.
So I really like Red Rock, too.
Red Rock
I did hear someone say it is way nicer than Red Rock, was the exact quote.
It's just nice.
I couldn't believe that.
Now, they don't want to be called a food court either. So it was like not a food court. It was I forget the words of it. There was actually these big words for what they call the food court. And I went in there, and it's a really nice, all upscale, like a lot of upscale places. So someone told me to go to this Irv's Burgers because it's a big place in L.A., big signs, Irv's. And, I'm trusting people named Irv, Moish, Hyman. These are like my people over here. So I got a choice. I got to trust these kind of guys for food. Yeah, Henry.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
2 questions.
Yeah.
One, the sports book being as awesome as it is.
Yes.
By all counts.
Yes.
Derek Stevens, do we say at this point that he has completely established the standard of sports books now and that every new casino will have this?
Very good. Absolutely.
And then the second part of this is if certain casinos are known for certain things. So Circa is known for the sports book and the pool. Let's say Resorts World is known for the food court.
Yes.
What do you think Durango's signature item is?
I don't know. That food court there is really cool. I mean, they had a lot of cool things and probably restaurants. They have a cool Mexican restaurant with a speakeasy. They have a lot of good restaurants there that I've seen. I didn't eat at them yet, but it's and I noticed not a lot of smoke. Local casinos are full of smoke. The locals are it's nervous energy. It's, the first of the month, everyone's smoking, gambling, trying to, raise their checks up a little bit. I speak like it is unscripted here. Sorry, I have to talk like it is. But that place, I noticed, it wasn't that smoky. It wasn't that bad smoke-wise.
Let's hope that continues.
Yeah, I hope that continues. And, at first, casinos, when they first open up, they try not to upset anyone. So maybe even, guys, you may get away with a little over-comping in the beginning. So if you're playing, you overcomped a little bit, maybe try our restaurants, and it's just an idea. I'm not saying that that's the way it's going to be down there. But really, I like the place, and it just showed me yesterday. I walked in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the second day that it was open. I said, does anybody work? It was packed. You couldn't move.
I say that
every single machine taken
in so many places.
Does anybody work?
Does anybody here have a job? Anybody? Nobody?
Yeah. I mean, this is a local place. It's not like it's a strip property that's going to. I expect when Fountain Blue opens up. Do we have the date on that, guys?
It's coming up.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
So by the way, the Fountain Blue is an interesting place because that area of the strip is quote-unquote, like the cursed area of the Strip. It never works there.
Wet and Wild.
December 13th.
You think it'll work there?
People love new properties. I think, Resorts World's doing great. Yeah.
We have a clarification from John Goulet. He says, when the Sigma Derby in Lake Tahoe was being taken out, Fortenbaugh tried to buy it because he loves the game so much. I asked, did he succeed? And Goulet responds, he did not.
Okay.
He did not. He did not. It's Gill Alexander. It's Kelley Bydlon. And as always on Thursdays, Unscripted with Crackman Bill Krackomberger. After the show today, I will be doing the Megapod as per usual on a Thursday. Brent Musburger gracing our presence on the Megapod today. Very excited for that. So we'll do that and try to get it out as soon as we can today on the Beating the Book feed, as always. A great year on the Megapod. I think this is my favorite Megapod year of all time because, first of all, the picks have been great, but also every guest has just brought it this year, and we've just had a fantastic time on the show. If you haven't checked it out yet, I would just sort of offer it's the perfect blend of insight and comedy. I would put it that way.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it really is.
Gil,
so
I'll
much
tell you
fun.
what. I'll challenge anyone. I don't know if there's another show on radio, TV, anything that has more winning gamblers on than yours.
I'm grateful that they all spend their time coming on.
No, you have some really good.
No one's getting paid, and everybody just comes on willingly.
I'm looking to get paid. Just to let you know.
Just side note,
see
Bill.
If Brent,
side note.
If Brent's coming on today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Should I ask him?
See if Brent can, give some of that money up.
Before we start the Megapod, just as I should ask you, like, Brent, will you think Bill could get paid?
Yeah.
So I'll start with that. Okay. So that goes over.
Hi, Brent. How you been? By the way,
before I forget.
I knew there was a by the way in there somewhere. Yeah.
Before I forget.
Yep.
That's right. He'd be like, I came all the way down here, lad, to get solicited. Okay, so there's NBA games in town today. Live NBA games. You have no interest in going?
Listen, I heard. The NBA tournament's here now?
Yeah, 2 games today.
I have a friend that's coming in tomorrow for NBA. He said
because the finals are Saturday.
Well, let me just tell you, we're unscripted here, and I'm going to put my hands together. I pray to God that what happens the last time NBA, like the All-Star game was here, when everyone walked out and didn't pay their checks and flipped over tables, restaurants closed the doors, casinos were. I just hope that kind of a crowd and that element doesn't come in. I'm not an NBA guy, so I don't support them.
So you're not going?
Going? No. I may go out there with a picket sign.
Kelley, you are going on a press pass, right? You're Big Maher with the press pass.
Yeah, I'm working.
I paid. Yes, I know.
I'm working.
I paid my way. The difference in the price. We're talking good seats, right? The difference in the price between the afternoon game today, which is the first of the 2 semis, it's an afternoon game, so allegedly people are working.
Interesting. Okay.
Versus the finals on Friday.
Oh, wow.
Or on Saturday, pardon me.
That's
on
what they're coming in for, yeah.
So the first of the 2 games today for a center section seat, not like way up front, but like midway to the back of the first section. So the best sections in the whole arena, closest to the court.
Not up top.
Not up top. Center. 200 plus if you bought them today for the afternoon game.
Okay, that's not bad.
I'm going to say, is that a lot?
No. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. That's for the afternoon game. It's not a lot at all.
That's for the afternoon game?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the main game. Okay.
Fast forward to Saturday night's final. Do you know how much the same seat costs on the if you go to like a Ticketmaster right now?
Oh,
$700.
That's crazy.
$1,000.
No
And I'm not talking about AA or BB.
Wow.
I'm talking about like row P, as in pneumonia.
Unbelievable.
See what I did there?
What were they tonight? Do you know that?
Like a little more than this. They're like 400-ish tonight.
Wow.
So it's like double tonight, but then it goes double and more for the Saturday night game.
Yeah, if you're wondering why there's a 4-hour difference in start times in these games, NBA going to get their money.
Yeah.
They're going to get their money if they're putting this on.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, I hope everyone has a good time, a safe, fun time. It's fantastic. Look at the total on this first game, 257. My God.
We were talking about it earlier.
Wow.
That gets to there's a handicap on that. It's a body clock game, right? Like, how are they going to get to 257? It's not a time of day they're really used to playing.
Right.
But the Pacers, I feel like the Pacers, if you threw up a 290, they would look at the 290 and they'd be like, oh, we'll get this.
Now, are these televised? The Laker game will be on TV, right? Are these televised?
Well, they are, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
I think ESPN and TNT are like doing cross.
They're overshadowing this unbelievable Thursday night football game.
I know, Bill. I know. I'm going to be so upset I'm missing it
What is going on? By the way.
ESPN for the early game, TNT for the night game.
Big move just now, guys, on air, live move here on air. Circa just went from 6 down to 5.
Oh, they must have heard my riveting first segment where I made the case for the Patriots.
Westgate, 5.5. Are you putting this out there?
Drunk
this
with
is
power.
Don Best. This game just moved. Major line move. Circa going from 6 to 5. Westgate going down also. A couple other casinos going down. This has to have something to do. Look at this, Gill.
And Westgate 29.5. We got a 29.5 back.
29.5.
We're in the 20s.
This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment. Let us pause. Wow. Seriously.
This is a correlated parlay. This is +6 and under 30.
Okay, so this is what I said earlier. I go, maybe the best thing you can even say about this game is whenever the total is this low, and by the way, when I say whenever, I mean it's never this low, and you're catching 6, now 5.5, maybe it's just an auto play on the dog, because what is that, if you conflate the two, it's 18-12 is what the final's supposed to be. Maybe you just auto-play the dog, and again, I gave the speech earlier. I'm saying tongue-in-cheek that we had something to do with it. But I gave a speech earlier, a performative exercise as to what you can actually put check marks in the Patriots column for. And they've outgained their last 3 opponents. Their rush defense is really good. Their defense as a whole is really good. They're going up against Mitchell Trubisky. I'm trying.
I mean,
they got really close downfield in some of those games to winning it, and then they threw a pick. That's not going to happen every game, is it? Is it?
So I'm sorry. I'm actually trying to put one of these correlated parlays
That's
in.
okay.
You do your thing.
See if it takes it. +6 under. All right, 1,000 to win 2,600. Yeah.
There you go, baby.
There you go.
There you go.
I normally wouldn't say to do that, but I don't know. It just looks like that. Now the steam's coming on.
Cut to a shot of Bill
So if you
tonight.
can get +6 under 30. Yeah, I just
cut to a shot of Bill. It's like Steelers, and the Steelers win it 24-0.
Oh, that could probably be the score. I mean, we know that.
But I do want to take this moment before you say 29.5. Can we just absorb that for a second?
Well, think about what we've hit in this segment. We just talked about an NBA total at 257 and an NFL total at 29.5.
So great.
It's amazing.
What a day. 257.5. And I'm leaving after the first game to subject myself to the 29.5.
Let me ask you, has anyone talked about this? And listen, I never tease totals. How about a 3-team 10-point teaser where you tease over, by the way, it just went to 29 in the sports book, 29. So you tease over 19.
How low can you go?
Over 19, Cleveland, Jacksonville over 20. With like San Fran -0.5.
Oh, you want to work in Army Navy at all too?
And here's the thing:
Army Navy 17.5.
Bill, the answer to your question is that we talked about this when Iowa was playing Nebraska, right? Iowa was playing Nebraska, and the total got to 24.5. I want to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we said, again, what your premise was. Teasing totals, you're not supposed to do that.
I never do that.
Never. But when you have a historical anomaly like we have in this Iowa-Nebraska game, that we had in Iowa-Nebraska, and that we're having with this game tonight, you don't know. There is not enough data to support a definitive, you can't tease this. Of course you should. Of course you should, because there's no precedent for this. Like, why wouldn't you do something creative and try? Now, it'd be hilarious if the game's 6-3 and we'll all laugh at ourselves.
Like last week, 6-0, right?
But, I mean, let's have some fun with it, right? I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it's foolproof. But you can't convince me it's not as good a bet as anything out there.
None of the three of us bet it. We're not putting that out there.
I have not done anything yet.
We haven't done anything yet.
But let me just say yet.
But it's an interesting thing.
The only reason it's a yet is because I'm sitting here doing a show. But once I have a moment to myself, there's no telling what I might do with this.
I mean, it's just interesting when you never see totals this low. But yet I did hear, maybe it was Fez or somebody. I heard someone say that 4 games that were totaled this or less, 31 or less, all 4 were, or 3 of the 4 went under, and 1 maybe.
Cleve TA was talking about that today.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
so someone else.
Or yesterday was on the show talking about how these historically
these do go under.
When you get really low, they still go low.
Yeah, but how low can you go?
Death row.
29.
What a brother know.
Wow.
This is now it is. I'm seeing it too. 29.5 is about to be.
6s are disappearing, right?
6s are disappearing. 5.5 painted now.
5.5 painted.
5.5 painted.
Yeah, circa 5. So
Yeah.
Circa took a bet.
Oh, by the way, Jacksonville, Cleveland. Now we get to weather games on Sunday.
Yes.
Jacksonville, Cleveland is right around the same number on Sunday morning.
Jacksonville, yeah, there's 30.5 out there. Circa was 30 for the longest time on Jacksonville, Cleveland.
The Jets-Texans game is a whopping 33.
A whopping 33.
Yeah.
This has never happened in the history of the NFL since we're betting, by the way.
No.
This has never happened. So,
by the way, that Packers-Giants game Monday night's 35.5.
Oh, there you go. Now, even that game. Well, it's the Packers-Giants. They're 35. All right, well, you can't do that tease-wise. But even that game, any games that are low totals, right away I look for like a 2.5 because I want to tease the low totals. I want to tease those underdogs getting 8.5 through the key numbers of 3 and 7. I want to put them in a teaser. The lower the total, the better value that teaser becomes. If I want to tease something plus 2.5 to 8.5 at a 30 compared to a 53 total, the 30 total is much more likely to come out percentage-wise to hit that. So
what was the bet you made just now, just to clarify for everybody?
I bet $1,000 on
I don't need the amount.
under.
Bill,
What's
the bet?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying.
How much money do you have in your account currently?
I want to give them credit over. That was South Point.
Okay.
I give them credit. I put a dime teaser on New England and under.
Yeah, New England.
No, not teaser. A parlay. I put a parlay. Just a parlay, plus 6 and under 30.
Okay, but what would you say to somebody who's like, why don't I just tease the Patriots more, right? Tease the Patriots with the over.
Down,
yeah. No, can't do it. I can't do it because, listen, I know there's one guy that wins that does that. I can't do it.
I'm not saying under any other circumstance. I'm saying because of this situation.
Yeah, I just my brain and my bankroll will not let me do it. I can't tease through 10. It's just not a teaser I make.
Patriots through the 10, and the total goes down to below 24. What could possibly go wrong? It's Gill Alexander, Kelley Bydlon, Bill Krackomberger at Bill Crackman with a K on Twitter. You ever had an Omaha steak, by the way?
I can't believe I was just going to, when you were done, I was going to give a shameless plug because I thought it was like a scam for years. I said, who's going to buy steaks over there and deliver them to you? So I go to Howie Schwab's. I go there a couple times a year. And his wife cooked up some really good steaks. I was like, wow, these are really good. And he grilled some steak. He goes, Bill, go in the freezer and look. It's all Omaha steaks. I said, get out of here. I thought Omaha steaks was like not. I want to tell you something.
This is a better endorsement than what I just
said. That's a better endorsement.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, I'm not trying to trust me. I've never ordered it myself. I may use the VSiN code or ask Musburger. I should at least get a free steak. I mean, I should get
one single Omaha steak delivered to Bill, please.
No, but
don't pay him. Just give him a steak.
I couldn't believe at the Schwab's, I'm giving Howie a plug here, that they had Omaha steaks, and he always orders it, and it was fantastic.
How's Howie doing, by the way?
Much better. This is a guy that we almost lost him.
For people who don't know who we're talking
50-50.
about, you may remember from ESPN, Stump the Schwab.
Howie Schwab.
Yeah.
And he's a great guy. He lives down in Florida. He overlooks the racetrack, Gulfstream Racetrack, beautiful place, and I stay there with him a lot, and it's just he's a great person.
By the way, those 29.5s did not last long.
Oh, wow.
Back up
popped.
to 30.
Oh, yeah.
That's the point of resistance. People see a 2, they're like, this can't be. I got to go over.
Oh, the Stations has it, but if you bet it, you might get thrown out. So, but anyway.
I'm sorry. Did I interrupt your Howie Schwab thing?
No, that's it.
But he's doing better. I'm glad to hear that.
Doing much better. I talk to him every week. He's doing great. And, and just to let you know, too, I am jonesing for a Florida trip. Is it cold in the mornings here? Is it
It's cold. It's cold.
Also, I used to say I became Cali soft.
Yeah.
So all of us East Coast guys, if we move to the West Coast, all it takes is a certain period of years, and then your whole concept of what is cold changes.
You're right. Washington, D.C., you had to have snowstorms outside.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with me. We had snow. Who am I kidding? I have become a little soft because now I just, I told someone yesterday in South Philly, he was freezing. He's like, oh, my God, December, I can't believe how cold it is here. But yet here, I felt like I was freezing. It felt like it was like 45 degrees. Yesterday, by the way, it was 68 degrees. No, it was 70. It was 70 yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm here talking about how cold it is, and people all over the East Coast freezing to death.
Yeah.
But,
but to answer your question, so frigid this morning. Yes, you're 100% right. Something about the desert cold it gets to you. We're just looking at the board right now.
Yes.
So Detroit and the Bears, you see in this, so Detroit is 3 across the board now, almost every 3 and extra juice.
Right.
But still, they're down to a 3-point favorite against the Bears.
Big syndicate side here. Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh, God.
Justin Fields is scary, man.
Early Monday morning, it got hit by one group, and then again it got hit. +4 by another group, and even +3.5. So you're right. Gill's right. There's a lot of threes on the board now, 3 juice. And
now think about that. That is a team that when I dared have them just outside of my top 10,
right.
I got so much incoming from people like, how can you not have the Lions in your top 10? I've never had them higher than 10. I have them 10 currently. And here they are against the Bears. Yes, on the road, and you're only a 3-point favorite.
The Bears have improved. You know, Justin Fields is now
the Lions can't play
actually
D either.
Throwing the ball a little bit more than just with his feet. So I kind of understand it, but 3 just seems so low. Let me tell you another major line move early Monday morning. I say shocked me, but yet I actually bet it because I seen it move. I said, let me bet this is a 2-point move. I have a couple slow-moving chops here in town. Seattle was +13 after San Fran just comes off their Super Bowl playing Philadelphia, and but Seattle was the major.
Yeah, 13 did seem like a lot. I think I guessed 10.5.
That was the major line.
It was 13.
Move.
Yeah, it came to me.
13, and it's 10.5 now. And don't be surprised if San Fran doesn't play a little better there. So. I'm sorry, not San Fran. Seattle
looked good against.
Seattle should have beat Dallas.
Yeah,
Seattle should have beat Dallas.
Yeah,
I literally Seattle +13. Is that amazing? There was 13s out there.
What else have you bet this weekend, Mr. Man?
What's in here?
All your bets here. Seattle +13.
Seattle, Broncos +3. That's still a good line. Sometimes you bet bad line. Oh no, no. There's still 1-3 out there.
2.5 extra juice, 3 reduced juice.
Packers -6, a rare favorite for the K-Man. Packers -6 I found here in town.
I've never heard you refer to yourself as the K-Man.
Well, it's like, isn't that Kramer, Seinfeld?
I thought, Kelley, I thought you were the K-Man, man. What's happening? He just took your name.
See, and only my dad's ever called me that.
He calls you the K-Man.
Lions, the over in the Lions game.
Over 41.
Now, that was weather-related, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to follow up with that.
Yeah.
So that total has gone up a little bit, too. That weather was early in the week.
I really got lucky hitting. I hit that at the right time.
Yeah. Weather early in the week looked like it was going to be really bad in Chicago. That weather report doesn't look nearly as bad now. That's why that total's gone up a little bit now.
Yeah, and you know what's amazing? Now, I just showed him every bet in my South Point account pending. It's unbelievable that I have not beaten, because South Point holds their lines at 3.5. Like the game you said was a 3 everywhere.
Yeah, they don't move the juice.
They don't move the juice. So they still have Detroit, Chicago 3.5. The only one left, 3.5 -10. It's amazing. I actually went back and looked, and I'm looking and looking. I can't. I'm like even in this app. I get the best of everything. You see every line I just showed you.
Let me just ask you, because there's going to be some people listening.
Yeah.
Here's your buddy. There's going to be some people listening
Yeah.
who are like, okay, Bill, really, you're ahead of everything. What do you say? What do you think your percentage of being ahead? Like how many? If we came in here next Thursday or last Thursday, and we did the same exercise, you show me your phone.
Sure.
How often do you get the worst of it?
The worst of it? Very rare. No, very rare. I just showed you my 5 bets pending in South.
Let me rephrase that. Not the worst of it, but that you are getting bad CLV.
I don't want to sound wrong here, too. Yes, it happens sometimes. But if that's happening more often than not, then I'm going to lose my money. So.
But yet, when you get the best of it, it doesn't necessarily translate.
Listen,
pointing out.
Yes. Let me just tell you something. If I have a 55% year, and people say 55%,
oh, it's the biggest.
I could do that.
Yeah.
And then I've had guys tell me, you went 6-4 a couple weeks. That's good weeks for you.
No, I
could do that 6-4.
I see Ed Golden deal with that on Twitter all the time.
Right.
Like he'll give you massive amounts of sample size, right? Thousands of games, if not maybe hundreds, but thousands probably. Yeah. And he's like, we're 56% or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And you'll always get 1 or 2 people who are like, that doesn't sound that good.
Listen, I'll tell you.
And you're just like, well, they're going to keep making more.
This is a long-term game, grinding money out. I could just tell you this. Before I moved to Vegas, yes, of course, 20 years ago, who'd you bet with? You bet with local guys. It's just the way it was. New York, Philly, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. You bet with local guys wherever you live. I understand. I've been thrown out of thousands of sports books, thousands, lifetime. I know it's hard to believe. A guy like me, a guy like Spanky, thousands of bookmakers have thrown me out. They didn't throw me out because they didn't like my action. They threw me out, because they didn't like me. They didn't like the action. And thank God, most of them paid. But here in 2023, only on this show we could talk about this, real experiences. With all these PPH per head shops that are out there now, and every single person you walk in a poker room, and every poker player is a bookmaker now. They all think they're bookmakers. They send some money offshore, and now, for $10 a week, $10 a head, now they're a bookmaker. Well, let me tell you what that translates to. No pay. That's right. It's totally opposite. The players used to, the bookmakers used to be in fear of the players not paying because, you beat a guy so much you can't pay. Well, now it's the opposite. The bookmakers don't pay. That's right. It's all these paperhead books. I blame them. That's the reason why you can't bet with local guys today. It's very hard to bet with local guys. Who else can talk about that on this network?
Yeah, I think we touched upon this last week too. It is very interesting how that shifted through the years.
Shifted. Yeah, we did talk about it. I know I'm repetitive. Sorry.
No. I don't mind the repetition.
Misplaced rage. I'm owed so much money from bookmakers in the old days. It just bothers me. So
never to be seen.
No.
Long forgotten. You and I had a. There's all kinds of things like this.
Yeah. Gill and I had a situation.
Yeah. 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
Not between each other, but
no. With something we were dealing with.
Yeah. We all have that one.
I don't want to tell you how much. There's another 5-figure screw, and you got screwed out of 5 figures too.
I did. Yeah.
Real nice.
Low 5 for me.
Real
I heard
nice.
it was much more than that though.
Yeah. No. I got. Yeah.
It'd be funnier if it was between
Bill and I, by the way, we just forgot we were on air. We're just like having this memory.
Listen, that's why it's an unscripted show.
Yeah.
It's like two guys talking at a bar.
Our voices drifting. We're like, yeah.
Oh, we both got, because it's frustrating. It is.
Sure.
But then again, listen, if I didn't take chances 30 years ago, with BMs back then, I'd be trying to save $100 a week with my nice little house with a white picket fence and 2 bedrooms and a bath.
What's the expression though? You fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should.
Fortmore's got a lot of nice makeup on today. All right, Joey. All right.
Bill Krackomberger, Unscripted, also commenting on makeup. Coming back, numbers game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We get tweets at Beating the Book. This is from Scott Weston. Hey man, love the college guessing lines edition of the show yesterday. The only problem I had was the Bin Laden guy, he calls you Bin Laden, Bydlon character, seemed to be a bit of an overactor, LOL, he said. we got reduced to 3 seconds in a VSiN promo because Kelley was overacting.
It was overacting. Yeah, it's a problem of mine, apparently.
He was an overactor. His nod. He was like, Scotty Lowry, how would you two hedge your Circus Survivor ticket this weekend? I'm thinking a combo of the money line and side on the opposite team. What if you, Billy, what if you were one of the remaining 30 Survivor entries? Would you be in hedge mode right now?
Well, I was hoping I wasn't going to talk about it, but I guess I have to.
Okay.
Look.
Okay.
So this person is alive. This is a text he sent me August 5th. He's one of the 30. Bill, can you please take a piece of my entries? So he wanted me to take up to 50% of his entries. Here's the text. Here it is.
Yeah.
He's one of the 30 people that are remaining. And I did not take a piece of his.
This brings up something, though.
Yeah, there's the text.
You didn't take a piece?
You did not take a piece.
I did not.
Do you regret not taking a piece?
Well, of course. I went to dinner with him and everything. I mean, and he's like,
Why did you decide not to?
I was in a healthy 5 figures already on things. It was just he hit me up too late. I already had many partners on the.
Here's my question to the both of you. Now, this is going to be somewhat anecdotal. But I feel like if you had asked me, Gill, how many of these, it happens to be 30, but let's say it's when it gets down to this every year, but this year particularly, how many, what's the percentage that you would feel would be looking to make some kind of financial transaction, either selling a piece or partnering with somebody else? Do you feel like it's more than you would have thought, though?
Definitely. I've had 3 different people already reach out to me on Twitter.
I'm shocked
DMs.
by this.
I don't know. And
we've
then
never
there's 2 that I know.
this.
5 people that are in that contest that I know personally have reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you, do you know anyone that can? I'll sell." He said it was worth $15,000 for 5%. So is that right? Someone said it's worth 15. Goes, I'll sell it for 12.5.
Yeah, 15,000 is 5%.
And I'll be blunt.
Yeah.
I turned it down.
Yeah,
I don't want it for 12.5.
No, I'm sure you don't. But I'm amazed. We have not talked about this before, and when Kelley and I haven't talked about this, I'm amazed that I get why, but I am simultaneously, because if you were in that position, let's just say Kelley, if you were in that position, if you were in the final 30, there's this 9.267 million number out there.
Yeah,
you've gotten this far. does the allure of the size of that number not trump making side deals to you?
I think that I'm going to answer that not directly though. Okay, I'm going to use your words. We've hit the point in Circa Survivor where this is a life-changing amount of money for what 99% of the people playing it, if not more.
Of course, if not the whole thing.
9.267 is 99 for every. Maybe 100.
And we're talking about life-changing money based off of what they can just hedge out now, right? Or get part of their entry bought off now. So I think that's why you're hearing it so much. And I would be in the same way. Are you kidding me? Like, if I was still in it, of course I would be up.
Let me tell you something. I don't talk about hedging. I'm not a hedge guy.
Hold on.
I would be looking at maybe not now, but I'd be looking at taking on some partners, getting back some equity.
Yeah. But let's just some people are in partnerships to begin with, and some people who are in partnerships, obviously by nature of partnerships, don't have the full control of it, right? Someone is usually the decision maker.
That's right.
So there's a lot of people, I don't know about a lot, but let's just say there's people that exist right now in the final 30 that have a piece but don't have decision-making power. So the equity in their entry is not only diluted to begin with, but now they don't have the power to prevent further dilution. And so they go from this notion of, well, they as partners might not have had the 9.2, but let's say it was half that, right? Let's say it was 4.6. They go from this 4.6 number to now worrying, quotes, this is all a good thing, right? But feel my context, worrying that number will go to 2.3, 1.15. Like at some point, yes, that's still great money. But at some point, their dreams of life-changing money shift into, oh, no, this will be great, but it won't be what I thought I was getting into. You feel me on this?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm just saying there's a lot of people who are involved that don't have control over that process.
The people that don't have control, I never even thought of that.
Yeah, and so it's like, because in the end, let's say they won it, but let's say at that point they had 8 partners. You're still happy?
Well, real quick, so if you enter this, you're using the example of you enter it with a single partner, right? So there's 2 people.
Let's say you're the first person into this guy's partnership. You got 50% to start with.
Okay,
right.
So I don't know, right off of the bat, if that's not a friend, family member, or someone I'm close to, right off the bat, aren't you deciding, like, if you want to, if you, who's in control of this account, but I've bought in 50% of it, if you want to sell off any percentage of it, you're selling your own percentage.
No, but let's say it's not like that. Let's say it's not like that.
Then that's screwed up.
Because I know of some arrangements that are not like that.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just saying I guess getting back to the first point, I'm amazed that so many of these 30, either individuals or groups, because Bill already said he's got 5.
3 on Twitter.
I've heard at least 3 of them, which is 10% of that, who are actively looking to sell pieces.
They all
or
are.
Make arrangements.
Most of them are.
And I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. I would have waited maybe another week or 2.
I'm kind of surprised by it, but I think it's the intelligent move. You know,
I think it's. I'm not saying it's not for a lot. I'm just surprised it's such a high percentage of them, because I would think that for some people, let's just try to put ourselves in their shoes. If you got 3 other partners, right? Let's say you make an arrangement with another group. You're getting an extra entry. And then you guys are splitting it. So you're. I guess all I'm saying is some people are going to still be intoxicated by the 9.267.
Sure.
In a way that others won't. And I think that's a fascinating reflection of human condition. Some people are going to be one way. Some people are going to be the other. Because remember, the other thing that I said in previous years is, inevitably, when we get down to this point, there's always going to be 1 or 2 of these people that think it's them, that think it's their skill that got them this far.
It's
right?
poker tournaments always.
And they're going to think to themselves, I don't have to partner. Why should I partner? I'm smarter than these people.
It's like every poker tournament I've ever been to, you get down to the final table, there's like 5 people left, and someone's like, hey, should we have the chop conversation? I'm like, yes, please. We've been sitting here for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Now
and then there's one guy who's like, oh, never.
Now,
not ever.
This is different from the end of last year. The end of last year, remember those last 3 people did that arrangement?
Yes.
And then they played for like $1 million. But they chopped it, and then they played for an extra $1 million.
Is that out there now? Wow, I didn't know that story was out there.
From last year. Yeah, that's out there.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good on them. There was only 3
That's
of you.
a great setup. Yeah.
It was enough money that you all still feel like you made a fortune, right? But at 30, like, I'm surprised by all these people doing it.
Interesting, because you're right. It went down to 3. You're talking millions per person. Yeah, very interesting. Listen, it's a lot of money. $1,000 entry, you're already worth $300,000. So that's right, 300,000. I mean,
yeah, 308,000.
It probably would be another few weeks for some of the more, if there's any pros even left.
What did Fezzik say? He goes, all sharp people are out after fourth week, he said. I don't know if that's true. I just think Survivor is what I think Survivor, if you don't acknowledge, I used to say it was, a certain percentage of luck and a certain percentage of skill. The more this goes on, like this year, for instance, come on, it's more than 50% luck, isn't it? You're trying to hit a 20-team money line parlay where you cannot use the same team twice. And think about all these outcomes. By the way, full disclosure, I'd have been gone 4 times by now.
Yeah, I would have been gone a couple times.
4 times. Maybe
definitely.
4 for me.
Definitely.
3 for sure. Maybe 4. I'd have to look. But it's just like the Green Bay-Detroit Thanksgiving game. We have one guy who's still in it, Jones, L.A. Jones, Greg Jones.
Yep.
He mistakenly clicked Green Bay on Thanksgiving, and he's still alive.
Oh, my God. Just think about that.
It's just incredible. His mom passed away right before that.
Sorry.
He mistakenly clicks Green Bay. Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Fez sent me a text about our last segment real fast. He says,
Best checker.
Mentioned to Gill about positive CLV does not mean that's a plus EV bet. By example, playing a team.
Oh, I know. I don't need that lesson.
Has no edge of closes -1, even though you're beating the closing number. You need to beat the closing line by more than half a point. Typically, unless it's a key number.
He's right about that.
Just to let people know on that.
He's right about that. It's the thing about plus CLV, or plus EV, or getting the best of CLV.
Right.
Let's talk about that. Getting the best of CLV. Back in the day, right? That was how Pinnacle.
Yep.
Pinnacle, talking about Pinnacle.
Yep.
They would judge the future success rate of a bettor based on that.
That's right.
That's
you can't do that no more, by the way. It's a different shop now.
That's right, but that's the origin of that. We'll come back. More Crack Man. We'll wrap it up. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We get tweets at Beating the Book. I want to get through all of these. Everybody's been kind enough to tweet in. Chris of St. Bart's. You guys remember the Sigma Derby at the Luxor that had racing camels?
Oh, my
remember
God.
that one? Wow.
He's right. He's absolutely right. Whoever said that to you is right. He did.
Thank you, Chris, for that memory. Auburnist. My favorite video from the opening of Durango was the guy who came in and darted straight for the oyster bar and got a seat without a wait. He immediately became a Vegas hero.
He follows up with the video. It's great.
That's great.
I thought he was maybe going to like a video poker machine or something. No, he's just racing to get there first.
The reason that's so funny is the Palace Station has had this oyster bar forever. And Marco was the first person to take me there. And there were times of the day and night where I'm not even making this up. You'd have to wait 2.5 hours to get a seat at the oyster bar because there's 14 seats. And it was just fantastic.
So right. You're right.
And you would sit there for hours. And the fact this guy just rolled into a seat is the comedy of that. This is from NJD 107. Gill, I checked, and somehow I'm blocked by the Crack Man. I searched, and we have 0 interaction on Twitter. What gives?
Who's that? Why is he blocked?
I don't know. You blocked him,
you
man.
Sure you didn't say nothing? Listen, I don't argue with people on Twitter. I just block and move. You don't get to see my stuff no more.
Block and move. You're like a boxer. Stick and move.
However, I will look at that again, and you may get a pass.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Bruce Dobigan, P as in pneumonia. That was funny, Gill. Love the red velvet crowd control rope behind you, by the way. Angriest guy in Kentucky. This NFL game, for all the guys out there, is not an autoplay. It's an auto take your old lady out and don't watch. This way she stays out of your hair for the weekend, he says.
I like that guy. I just like that.
Chance Copperpot, what you guys were talking about, exactly what I've been trying to get across to others, but a 13-point teaser, he says. I got Army-Navy over 14.5. I got Pat Steelers under 42.5. Jags-Browns under 43.5. How does that not hit?
I don't like the under. However, who does 13-point teasers anymore? Most of the books stopped doing that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Larry Fresh, thank you for the Public Enemy quote. You're welcome. Bob Petrillo, Gill, can you please help explain the crack man's logic of liking New England plus 6 in a parlay, but not a teaser plus 12? I'm not sure I get it.
Listen, situational, like Gill said at the beginning, because of the total so low, because the 6 was so high, maybe this game you could do that. All I'm saying is you're getting back 13-5 on a correlated parlay. I just thought that was the better way to go about it.
Larry Fresh wants you to completely big-time me at the NBA game today. Like if I came by and say, hey, what's happening, Kelley? You just be like, I don't know you.
Get behind your ropes.
I know you during work hours, Gill. Alpha Sports, because he got the press pass, I don't. Alpha Sports Betting. Just tried Omaha Steaks Seaside Seasoning on my fish, and it's awesome. Listen to this. Perfectly balanced with garlic, onion, and a hint of lemon. It brings out the best in salmon, cod, and more. Not too salty, great for grilling or pan-searing. Highly recommend. Wow. Okay.
Did he get copy for our next reads or something coming up?
Jeez. That was
Might
wonderful.
be the read next week. It's really good to trip us out.
Alan Mitchell, love Bill going Ricky Henderson third person with the K-Man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The Truth 1980,
Thanks.
Agree with Crack that your podcast is fantastic. But if you two ever did one telling stories from your past, it would be unbelievable.
They're right, but we might go to jail.
We might go to jail. Maybe.
Yeah.
You'd go to jail before
Actually, it's
I would.
statute of limitations.
Yeah, there is a statute of limitations.
I mean, come on. If they see what I paid in quarterly estimated tax now, they wouldn't. They want me to be out on the street. Trust me.
Last name Nash. Thank you, by the way. The reason I go through this is because everybody's so kind to write in and chime in on stuff. Last name Nash. New Thursday segment: PPH versus the K-Man. Bill rants for 5 minutes uninterrupted. How PPH has screwed him that week.
Oh God.
By the way, angriest guy in Kentucky. I just read one of your tweets, but there's at least 8 of them.
Oh, really?
Point that out.
That's what I'm saying. He's off his rocker, but I like him. I like the guy.
That's a perfect way to describe him, Bill. Yep.
Ray, wreaking havoc. This is interesting. We were talking about that whole Survivor discussion we were having last segment about, how interesting it is how these 30 finalists are so open to making deals already. Wreaking Havoc says, I could be very wrong, but I think it's a sign of the times. Call it economic outlook or whatever. People are needing to lock in a profit. Who could blame them?
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is a different time. He could be right about that.
And here's what Mark Goldberg. Hey, Bill, this is your heads up for next year.
Yeah, that's my guy.
For Circus Survivor Partnership, LOL.
Yeah.
Says Adam Burke and I appreciate waiting until next year.
Listen.
But he says, great point with decision-making, Gil. Adam and I decided to split decision-making on entries until now.
Listen, if I wasn't at the funeral, the wedding, I don't want to be at the funeral. That's all I could say. I wasn't at the wedding, but it's my own fault. However, I will take a free meal at the Italian-American Club when you come in, if you win. If not, it's still on me.
Remember this time last year I asked you, you were still, I don't know if you were then this deep, but like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago last year, you still had an entry. Oh, no. What was that?
No, that was last year. My buddy Frankie in Myrtle Beach.
You were putting in the picks, right?
I was putting in the picks.
And you didn't have a piece? I
didn't have a piece. I didn't want a piece. I was under my name.
And I asked you.
I was going to determine what percentage he gets.
That's right. You were going to determine what percentage he gets. I famously asked you,
what I
Bill,
deserve for a toke.
What do you deserve if you guys go to the promised land? At that time, it was $6.13 million.
Yeah, $6 million.
What do you deserve? And your response was?
$1 million.
Oh, my God. Yes, it was.
Listen, what do you think? 10% minimum. But we're good friends, and the value of our friendship's worth at least another 5%. So I'll say, $1 million.
He made all the picks.
He made all the picks.
You think you should get $1 million for putting him in?
It's under my name. He wouldn't have it without me.
Okay.
It's situational, though.
Just asking.
10% is cost. Listen, I'm sitting here with my buddy who definitely, I was putting his 10 in every week. He lost them in 1 week. I'm sure he would have gave me 10%, right, Marcus? Oh, wait a minute.
Marcus is like,
wait. Maybe. Maybe I'm wrong.
You got the wrong Marcus.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe I am asking too much.
Well, okay. Let's relate it to, because you guys are friends.
Yeah.
You won't be after that. Let's say it was a contest where you just had a proxy, one of these professional proxies, right?
Yes.
What do you think is the I got this question from Salinas.
You're not going to like this answer.
I got this from some others who won the contest at the time. One of their biggest anxiety-inducing moments was not figuring out the picks to win the contest. They win it, and then they're like, oh, no, what do I do? And I'm like, bro, you're asking the wrong guy.
I'm friends with a lot of these proxies, too. I know them. They're nice people. But you're charging a fee. What do you give me
I'm with you.
if I lose? Well, are you guys giving me a percentage back? You're getting your – and by the way, what's it, like $500 to have a proxy if you're picking $400?
I don't know because I haven't used one in many years, but it used to be like $300.
Okay, if it's $300, so you're getting paid from me to do a service whether I win or lose. I will tip on top of that because I know you, but I understand why people wouldn't want to, but I'm saying – a tip, but not what you think.
Well, what's your tip percentage? Not what you think, right?
Not what you think.
Okay, so that's where I was getting back.
And I love tipping, trust me.
Right.
I tip thousands a month stupidly
but
sometimes.
I agree with you, and this is not going to make us friends, easy with anybody here.
I know.
But I agree with you that there is a certain gumption. There's a certain moxie. There's a certain chutzpah.
Yeah.
I'll stop. Yeah. With asking for the standard percentage of a multi-million-dollar win.
That's right.
Because literally, if you do the math, it's like, let me get this straight. You want $50,000 for putting in my picks, or whatever the number is, right?
That's a good number, though. But that's a good number.
Okay, but here's the thing. Some people have won this who have a wife and kids, and they have bills and all this stuff, and they have taken the approach. From their mouths, they're like, Gill, I'm not giving them $50,000. I gave them a fee. I'll give them something.
Right.
I'm not giving them $50,000.
Yeah, I'm not giving $50,000.
Because at that point, it becomes cartoon money.
I mean, if I won the whole $9 million, I would, of course. But I would give him. I would. But I'm not giving $50 on $1 million.
No, this was $1 million we're talking about back then.
I'm not. And they don't expect that either. I don't think.
Well, no, they expected it all.
You're kidding me.
They expected it all right.
Well, let me get into this business then.
Yeah. It's a fascinating. We should all have such problems.
Yeah.
Let's just say
Seriously,
it that way.
that's a good way to wrap it up.
Whether it's the 30 who are left, good on all of them. But what's mo money, mo problems, right? This is the gambling version of that, where it's like then you got to navigate the somewhat uncomfortable, dicey post celebration.
It's true.
And in this case, with the 30.
Listen, before we get off air, I got to give my buddy a shameless plug. Only because I hope we go to Augusta one of these times, and maybe we'll get a discount ticket.
Please, Marcus. Please.
Do we get a discount ticket? Little for Gill? All right, yeah, hands up.
He's like,
all right, good.
Whatever.
GolfTicketsAugusta.com. He sells more secondary tickets than anyone I know. And by the way, they have scooter rentals this year. So
we saw you on the scooter last year.
You saw me on the scooter. So he is the biggest purveyor of tickets there. And hopefully we go.
Tell the truth. You fell off the scooter at one point?
I didn't tell no one this back then, but the first day there, I didn't realize the hills were so bad. So when you go by Amen Corner, getting up, I got stuck a little bit, and I went down. And my knee got a little messed up.
I'm sorry about that.
Just picture someone, slightly overweight like myself going down. It wasn't good.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.